The moment when words fail, a superstar athlete can reveal more about their character than any prepared statement ever could. That's exactly what happened when Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's most dominant rookie, and the face of women's basketball's transformation, found herself completely stunned by a reporter's question that nobody saw coming. The exchange that followed would become one of the most talked-about press conference moments in recent sports history. Not for what was said, but for the powerful silence that spoke volumes about the pressures facing elite female athletes. The question wasn't about statistics or game strategy. It cut straight to the heart of issues that every professional athlete faces but rarely discusses publicly. What happened next would change how we think about media interviews, athlete vulnerability, and the responsibility that comes with being the face of a sport experiencing unprecedented growth. Caitlin Clark's relationship with the media has been a defining aspect of her professional career since entering the WNBA in 2024. As the first overall draft pick and the most highly anticipated rookie in league history, her every press conference and interview has been scrutinized by fans, analysts, and media members, looking for insights into her personality and approach to professional basketball. The rookie's media training and natural charisma have generally served her well in press conferences, where she typically handles questions about her performance, team dynamics, and the growth of women's basketball with poise and thoughtfulness. Her ability to articulate her thoughts clearly and connect with reporters has contributed to her positive public image and commercial appeal. However, the intense media attention surrounding Clark's career has also created unique pressures that few athletes experience, particularly during their rookie seasons. Every statement is analyzed for deeper meaning, and her responses to questions about everything from her playing style to her impact on the league are dissected by fans and media members seeking to understand her perspective on her rapid rise to stardom. The volume of media requests and interview opportunities has been unprecedented for a WNBA rookie, requiring Clark to develop skills in managing press conferences, one-on-one interviews, and informal media interactions while maintaining focus on her basketball performance and personal well-being. Questions arise about how the constant media attention might affect young athletes like Clark, and whether the expectations placed on them to be spokespersons for their sport might create additional pressures that impact their ability to perform and develop as both players and individuals. The landscape of sports journalism has evolved dramatically in recent years, with reporters facing pressure to generate viral content, exclusive stories, and compelling quotes that can capture public attention in an increasingly competitive media environment. This evolution has sometimes led to more aggressive questioning and attempts to elicit emotional responses from athletes. The relationship between professional athletes and sports media has become more complex as social media platforms allow athletes to communicate directly with fans, potentially bypassing traditional media channels. This shift has created new dynamics in press conferences and interviews, where reporters must work harder to provide value beyond what athletes share directly with their audiences. Sports journalists covering women's basketball face unique challenges in balancing the need to ask tough questions with the responsibility to support the growth of a sport that has historically received less coverage than men's athletics. This balance can create situations where reporters must navigate sensitive topics while maintaining professional relationships with athletes and teams. The pressure to generate engaging content has led some reporters to ask increasingly personal or provocative questions, designed to elicit strong reactions from athletes. These approaches can create memorable moments, but also risk crossing boundaries of appropriate professional conduct and athlete privacy. The evolution of sports media has also included increased scrutiny of how female athletes are questioned compared to their male counterparts, with growing awareness of gender-based differences in interview approaches and the types of questions that are considered appropriate for different types of athletes. The growth of women's basketball has been one of the most significant sports stories of recent years, with increased television viewership, attendance, and commercial investment transforming the landscape of professional and collegiate women's athletics. This growth has created both opportunities and pressures for athletes who find themselves at the center of this transformation. Caitlin Clark's role in driving this growth has been unprecedented, with her college career at Iowa generating television ratings that exceeded many men's basketball games, and her transition to the WNBA, creating sustained interest in women's professional basketball. This success has made her a spokesperson for the sport, whether she sought that role or not. The responsibility of being a face of women's basketball includes fielding questions about pay equity, gender equality in sports, and the broader social implications of athletic success. These topics require athletes to engage with complex issues that extend far beyond their individual performance and team success. The commercial success generated by Clark's presence has created expectations that she will continue to be accessible to media and fans while maintaining the performance level that created her initial success. This dual responsibility can create stress and pressure that affects both media interactions and athletic performance. Questions arise about whether young athletes like Clark receive adequate preparation for handling the broader social and cultural responsibilities that come with being high-profile figures in sports that are experiencing rapid growth and increased public attention. The psychology of athlete-media interactions reveals complex dynamics that can significantly impact both the immediate conversation and the long-term relationship between reporters and the athletes they cover. These interactions are influenced by factors including the athlete's personality, media training, current performance, and the broader context of their career in sport. Press conferences and interviews represent high-pressure situations where athletes must balance honesty with strategic communication while managing their own emotions and the expectations of various stakeholders including fans, teammates, coaches, and commercial partners. The most memorable press conference moments often occur when athletes are caught off guard by unexpected questions, or when they choose to respond with unusual candor to topics they typically handle with prepared statements. These moments can reveal authentic personalities and create connections with audiences that transcend typical sports coverage. The impact of viral press conference moments can extend far beyond the immediate sports context to influence public perception of athletes and their sports. In the social media age, brief clips from press conferences can reach millions of people and shape narratives about athletes and their personalities. Sports psychologists note that the ability to handle media pressure effectively is increasingly important for elite athletes, as media interactions can affect confidence, public image, and commercial opportunities throughout their careers. The pressure facing rookie athletes in high-profile situations extends beyond their on-court performance to include their ability to handle media attention, represent their sport positively, and manage the expectations that come with being highly visible public figures. Caitlin Clark's rookie season has included learning to navigate media attention that exceeds what most professional athletes experience throughout their entire careers. This attention has included both positive coverage celebrating her achievements and more challenging questions about her role in women's basketball and her response to various controversies. The development of media skills requires ongoing practice and refinement, as athletes must learn to communicate effectively with different types of reporters in various formats and about topics that range from technical basketball analysis to broader social and cultural issues. The support systems available to young athletes include media training, public relations assistance, and guidance from veteran players and coaches who have experience managing similar pressures. However, the unique nature of Clark's situation has meant that few people have direct experience with the specific challenges she faces. The long-term impact of media experiences during rookie seasons can influence how athletes approach press conferences and interviews throughout their careers, making early experiences particularly important for establishing positive relationships with reporters and developing confidence in media interactions. The evolution of women's sports coverage has included increased attention to the personalities and stories of female athletes, creating opportunities for more in-depth coverage while also increasing the pressure on athletes to be engaging and accessible to media and fans. The growth of women's basketball has attracted reporters and media organizations that may not have extensive experience covering women's sports, creating situations where questions and interview approaches might not align with the unique aspects of women's athletics and the experiences of female athletes. The commercial success of women's basketball has created new expectations for athlete availability and media engagement, as sponsors and broadcast partners seek to maximize the value of their investments through athlete interviews and promotional activities. The balance between promoting women's sports and protecting the privacy and well-being of female athletes has become increasingly important as the commercial stakes and public attention have grown significantly in recent years. Questions arise about whether the media training and support systems available to female athletes adequately prepare them for the unique challenges of representing growing sports while managing their own career development and personal well-being. The role of social media in amplifying press conference moments has created new dynamics, where brief exchanges between athletes and reporters can become viral content that reaches far beyond traditional sports media audiences. This amplification can both benefit and complicate the careers of athletes who become the subject of viral moments. The immediate nature of social media means that press conference clips can be shared and commented on within minutes of occurring, creating rapid feedback loops that can affect how athletes and reporters approach future interactions. The context that might be lost in viral clips can create misunderstandings about the intent and meaning of questions and responses, potentially affecting public perception of both athletes and reporters involved in these exchanges. The pressure to create viral content has influenced how some reporters approach athlete interviews, with increased focus on questions and approaches that might generate strong reactions or memorable moments, rather than providing informational value to audiences. The impact of viral press conference moments on athlete mental health and well-being has become an increasing concern, as social media amplification can create sustained public discussion and scrutiny that extends far beyond the sport's context. The business implications of athlete media interactions have grown significantly, as commercial partners and sponsors pay close attention to how athletes represent themselves and their sports in public forums. Press conferences and interviews can directly impact endorsement deals, appearance fees, and other commercial opportunities. The authenticity that audiences value in athlete interviews must be balanced against the commercial interests that require athletes to maintain positive public images and avoid controversial statements that might affect their marketability. The preparation required for media interactions includes not only technical media training, but also strategic communication planning that considers the commercial implications of various responses and approaches to challenging questions. The support teams surrounding high-profile athletes often include public relations professionals who help athletes navigate media interactions while protecting their commercial interests and personal well-being. The long-term career implications of media relationships extend beyond individual press conferences to include ongoing relationships with reporters and media organizations that can influence coverage and opportunities throughout an athlete's career. The responsibility of being a role model for young fans has created additional considerations for how athletes approach media interactions, particularly for athletes like Clark, who have become inspirational figures for young people interested in basketball and sports generally. The messages that athletes convey through their media interactions can influence young fans' perceptions of sportsmanship, professionalism, and the values associated with competitive athletics. The authenticity that resonates with audiences must be balanced against the responsibility to set positive examples for young fans, who may be watching press conferences and interviews as part of their own athletic development. The educational value of athlete media interactions includes opportunities to discuss the importance of hard work, teamwork, and resilience, while also addressing challenges and setbacks that are part of competitive athletics. The platform that comes with high-profile athletic success creates opportunities for athletes to influence positive change in their communities and sports, though this responsibility can also create pressure to address issues that extend beyond their individual expertise and experience. The evolution of athlete media relationships reflects broader changes in how public figures interact with audiences, and the expectations placed on celebrities and athletes to be accessible and engaging while maintaining their privacy and personal well-being. The future of sports media will likely continue evolving as technology creates new platforms and formats for athlete media interactions, requiring ongoing adaptation from both athletes and reporters to maintain effective communication and professional relationships. The lessons learned from high-profile media moments can inform how sports organizations, athlete support systems, and media training programs prepare future generations of athletes for the unique challenges of being public figures in the social media age. The balance between transparency and privacy in athlete media interactions will likely remain an ongoing challenge as public interest in athlete personalities continues to grow alongside the commercial value of authentic and engaging sports content. The precedents established by how current athletes handle media pressure and challenging questions will likely influence how future athletes approach these responsibilities and the support systems that are developed to help them succeed both on and off the court. If you're as intrigued by the complexities of athlete media relationships as we are, go ahead and like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How do you think athletes should handle challenging questions from reporters? Do you believe the media has a responsibility to protect young athletes while still asking tough questions? We want to hear your perspective on how sports journalism should evolve to support the growth of women's basketball while maintaining professional standards. Then, hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our coverage of sports media, athlete development, and the ongoing transformation of women's professional basketball. Thanks for watching.